This is my 1995 Mercedes E300 diesel. I wanted to do a cold start video for the sale of this car. I know everybody likes a cold start video, and who knows if I started it 5 minutes ago. But trust me, this car has been sitting here for a month, give or take. So it might not even start. I usually keep it on a tender, but I got lazy last time I was moving it around. I'll take it outside and do a better walk around video where there's more light. This is climate controlled storage where it's been since I got it 6 years ago. As you can see, the gauges are nice and orange. They haven't been sun bleached. All right, let's see what happens here. Glow plugs out. A little bit of a slow crank, but that'll clear up if it gets driven more. Let me open the hood, take a quick look at that before we go outside. You can tell it runs very smoothly, even like I said, having not been started in several weeks, maybe even more. I didn't clean the engine. People like to see, as they say, an honest engine. But anyway, let's go ahead and get this outside so I can get some pictures and a walk around video. Okay, so this video is going to be sort of a walk around and tour of the car. I'm going to put this up on YouTube. So again, this is my 1995 Mercedes-Benz E300D, D for diesel, with 84,242 miles at this moment. I know I'm the seller, but I got to tell you, I looked for a 95 E300D for many, many, many years. And when this came up, I got really lucky. This is the nicest one I've ever seen. When I got it, it had 66,000 miles, I believe. So I've put about 18,000 miles on it. I've kept up on all the maintenance, probably far more than what most people would do because I don't drive it a ton. Most of those miles were put on the first couple years that I bought it. I should at least move the camera around while I'm talking. And, you know, I even had the upper engine wiring harness replaced. I know that's an issue on these cars with the biodegradable insulation. This car, from what I understand, and there's a lot of internet debate about this, is what's known as a special edition vehicle. These were only offered the last year of the W124 chassis, and not all 95s have the features that this car has. Now, you'd be hard-pressed to find that information documented anywhere. So that's why I said there's a little bit of hearsay here, but I want to show you some things that make this car particularly equipped a little more than your run-of-the-mill diesel, even in 95. For one, it's got the burl trim, not the Zebrano wood. It's got a full leather treatment. This is not MB Tex. It's got the gathered leather on the doors, the full leather seats, which are very soft. You know, even in the back, the burl, the full leather. The steering wheel, like I said, is not the vinyl or MB Tex. I understand that the heated seats were part of that package. You don't see those too often on US vehicles. They are out there, don't get me wrong, but trust me, look at W124s. You're not going to find a lot with them. I did change the radio. The radio that came with this was one of those blinky light, you know, monstrosities. So I got this Continental, which is a plug and play right into the Mercedes harness, and it has a pretty good period correct look, and it sounds excellent. The only other modification I'm thinking of at the moment is I had the HomeLink compass mirror made custom for this vehicle. There is a gentleman out there that does these. I believe he's taking a mirror from a later Mercedes and rewiring it, and it's plug and play. Plus, again, it looks very period correct. let's see, is there anything else in here? It does have the rear fog lights. I don't know if that's unique or not. You pull out twice. Pull out once for front, pull out twice for the rear. If I recall, all the gauges, clocks work and everything. Always have. You know, there's not a single feature of this car that I can think that does not work. Let's go outside and walk around. I'm going to show you some of the negatives of the car, believe it or not. I'm just one of those people who's going to show you everything. So let's go out here. Pardon me if there's some traffic and noise. Another one of those features of the special edition, again, allegedly, are the stainless steel door sills. You'll see those on all of the doors. This paint is black sapphire metallic. Again, this was a special paint only on this particular generation trim level that I keep talking about. And lastly, also the wheels. Those were unique to having ordered the special edition package. You've got the cold weather package, like I said, with the heated seats. It's also got the wipers. You tend to see those on most of the 95s, but it is, of course, the facelift model. It's got the vented quarter panel there for the air intake. You know, the weird thing about 124s where it's got the shorter mirror on one side and the longer mirror on the other. I guess it had something to do with the angle of viewing. But anyway, I don't know what's going to show up. This car has been driven, so it's got a few paint chips. So that's one of the things I wanted to point out. Again, I don't know how well these things are going to show up, but there's a good scratch chip there. There's a couple of small ones. There's a dent right here on the hood that's very small, and I had the paintless dent people try and take it out, but they couldn't do it. So I think I have some of the matching touch-up paint for this, which of course I would include. You'll be hard-pressed to find any dings in the doors. There may be one or two. I'm just not remembering where they are. There's a couple of bird inclusions on the paint that couldn't be polished out. There's one right there. You know, I did polish and wax this thing recently. In the trunk, it's got a full-size spare. It's got the CD player. Oh, and if you look at my pictures, there's a bunch of literature that I'm including that came with the car, including the original sales brochure and also the original letter to the owner who originally, I'm saying original, to the owner who originally purchased this vehicle. I am the second owner. I bought it from the estate of the first owner. Okay, a couple other things I need to disclose. I had some paint work done right here because there was starting to be some bubbling around the antenna, and there still is some there, so I don't know if they didn't do a very good job, but that is I'm going to say that's the only rust on the car that I think anyone would be worried about. I'll tell you what I mean by that in a second. Also, I had the roof resprayed because the clear was starting to peel away from where the sunroof is. Unfortunately, again, it is starting to peel away, and you'll find there's a few inclusions of dirt in the paint, so I'm not real happy with the people that did this work. The color match on the quarter panel was great, but anyway, anyone who's seriously interested in this car, if you come see it, it really takes a trained eye to see some of these things. All right, I want to show you under the hood real quick here. Flip that switch. I know the lighting isn't great out here, but I'm going to show you a couple things. There's a little bit of rust. Like I said, the stuff on the antenna, that's the only stuff that I'd be concerned about from a cosmetic. This, I've sprayed it with fluid film, hopefully stopped it, I don't know. Just on the core support here, there's some rust. I'm not aware of this car having ever been in any accidents. As a clean Carfax. I've done several filter changes, diesel purges, oil changes since I've owned it. I got new tires when I got it in 2017, so they're 6 years old, but they only got maybe about 15,000 miles on them, so they should have some life left. As I mentioned in my other video, this car is stored in climate controlled storage year round. That means air conditioned in the summer out of the sun and heated in the winter to 58 degrees, I think I keep my garage at. So kept out of the elements. I will try to get some pictures of the underside, or especially if anybody wants to see any. It is very clean. None of the jack points are rusted out, which I know are an issue on 124s. Let's see. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. When I write up some copy for this ad, however I decide to sell it, I'm looking at a bunch of different options. You know, I'll be able to answer questions or maybe even take some specific pictures. But again, I'm telling you, this car, it just presents like a new car. It really is nice in here. Be very happy with it. I don't even know if I vacuumed it recently. Don't use it that much anymore. Most of those miles that went on it since I owned it were the first year or two, and then I sort of parked it. I got a lot of cars, including other old Mercedes and BMWs. I'm a German car guy. So anyway, that's it for now. Good luck to me and you getting this car, selling this car.